All right. What's up, you guys? This is totally not Slim, but anyways, he's here to show you the Klee deck that he took, or that he was able to qualify for next year's Nationals.
Next year's Nationals.
Hell yeah,
yes.
man.
I lost. I told you guys last night. Actually, last night, yeah. It was actually just like 24 hours ago. I lost, in the finals of LCQ, and I got down. And I was like, I'm down, but I'm not out. Like, I had one goal and one goal only. It was, all right, well, I'm not going to play in the World Championship qualifier this year, so it's like, all right, I want to play for next year's, and everyone knows that I never really go to events, so it was like, okay, I get my chance to go next year.
He opened double reasoning every game.
If it was noise, maybe, but shout out to Tweety. I saw Tweety too. We talked about noise. It was awesome, but it was just, if I can get in and I can knock it out and be able to actually just play and get better through the whole format, then I'll definitely do it. You guys are probably wondering, like, I don't have the mat in the box. I got rid of them, but here's the proof in case anyone doesn't believe me. Just a picture from my phone, but I took a picture of it like right before I got rid of them. I don't care about the mat. I didn't care about the box. It wasn't about that. Literally, I only cared about signing that piece of paper that said that I qualify for nationals. So it was awesome. So yeah, I played Klee. Like I told you guys, I was most comfortable with the deck. Huge shout out to Jesse Jobber. You're the fucking man, Jesse. Like, this deck is perfect. Like, honestly, the deck is perfect the way, because we made a lot of changes, and it's crazy. It's so good, and best of luck at nationals, because he's killing it right now. So yeah, I'll just show you guys nothing really special, but the 9 monsters. I'll talk about that actually, because there's actually something behind that a lot of people don't understand, but I'll explain it. The 2 stealth, best card. Was it 2 carrier and 3 helix? So originally, you guys saw, like, when Jesse topped, he played 3 helix. The reasoning behind it is pretty simple. It's harder to get off a 2 tribute, and honestly, the best 2 tribute is stealth. It's better than shell. Shell is great for the piercing and the double attack. It can win you games. Stealth alone should win you a game, because if you're tributing 2 guys, you're tributing a guy with sacrifice, and you're bouncing your scout and scouting twice in 1 turn and pendulum, you should win the game.
Plus, usually if your opponent's down that low where piercing kills him, you're probably winning anyway.
Exactly. And the thing was, I really don't like putting monolith in the scale, and a lot of people are going to say, why? That's like basic Klee stuff, and I know it is, but I honestly love putting either one of these guys in the scale, because you get a plus 300, and that plus 300 is so critical, because you bring your guys out at 18, with 300 they come out at 21, and that is very, very critical against a lot of matchups. It made a huge difference for me. I played the best Yu-Gi-Oh! In my life these last 2 days, like, no joke. These matches were absolutely fantastic, and freaking I would pendulum out or even tribute for monolith, and with the 300 boost came out at 27. It was enough to just win the game a lot of times, and it would just punch over everything. A lot of things that I noticed PK players, I played a ton of PK Fire, that what they would do is really good plays. They would always set or bring up the what is the one that's the tuner guy? I can't remember.
I have no idea.
But the tuner guy with 2100 defense, well, even with the 300 boost, the guys can't get over it, so just got over it. The best play I made of the day, though, was I actually tribute set Scout, because I got anti-spell fragrance when I started my turn, and I opened Scout, and I literally Stormforthed him and set it, and with that in Rivalry, there was no card in their deck that could get over 2800, and it stayed like that the entire game, so that was crazy. So yeah, so 9 monsters. Spells, it'll be at 1 or gone, but the card is ridiculous. I don't need to explain it.
Shouldn't be.
Duality is awesome. It gets me what I need. 2 art, there's only 2 targets. There's no need to play 3. You can say you can play 3 to see it more, but I saw it enough, and I try to play the deck like, if I can win the game without Scout, then it says that the deck is better than just, pay 8, feel great. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. You can disagree with me, but you can play the deck without Scout and still play it like just a general stun deck.
It's Tribute Stun 2.0.
Exactly, and this is the best card.
Damn,
like in the format, like, no joke. It's insane. It's so good against everything. It's good against Monarch, good against PK. It's good against, good against Cosmo, good against everything. It's just absurd against PK, and I mean against Monarchs, it's like a blowout just for the fact like the Pantheism, yeah, but the Prime alone, especially against the extra deck, because they're always trying to bring back Prime, they're always trying to recycle, and they can't do any of it. And they try to get back Erebus, they can't do it. So yeah, Necro Valley, like, MVP. Damn. I wanted to open it every game. Honestly, I thought about playing Terraforming, but we just didn't do it. And then the 1-0s, Sacrifice, always would search it off Scout. Upstart, and the 1 Stormforth, which was insane. It really was insane. I mean, literally that play where I Stormforth with a Necro Valley up on Beatrice and set the Scout was enough to, grind out the game, so it was good. That's it for the spells. We cut the Into the Voids. I'll talk about that later. I didn't want to do it, but eventually they convinced me to do it, and it was a good decision.
Cards Garbaggio.
On to the traps. The best Mirror Force, because it's the nuts. And I mean, honestly, the biggest board I wiped was maybe 3 monsters. But I mean, in the past I've wiped like a full board, but it's still. I mean, people know about it now, but I mean, the card is still just insane. And I literally had players who would like, I'm not walking into a drowning. It'll ruin the game for me, and I'd get another turn. So it's worth its weight in gold just for that.
It's such a mind game card too.
Definitely.
Like, you can literally set that, and they'll be too afraid to attack.
Definitely. Played a full set of strikes. Card was insane. You know, obviously it's bad up against Monarch if they have return. I mean, I've only played like one Monarch throughout like all the days like playing 3 strike. It's really good and it's really critical. To strike certain effects that go off, because striking at the right time can just be the difference between you winning and losing.
Hey, go back to drowning just for a second.
Yes, sir.
When you were playing drowning though, you play spoiler. You play what soul
transition.
Soul transition. Did you ever use that without drowning, like to make everyone think you're playing drowning?
Yes, I did, because it was like, okay, they didn't have enough on board to kill me that turn, and I have enough to still play scout. So literally, I did it, and it did work once. It only worked once, but I think I did it once. Yeah, once or twice. But my favorite, I'll explain Soul Transition when I get to it, because Soul Transition was probably one of the MVPs of the day. And then 3 Rivalry. It does suck against Cosmo. It's the ruling with it.
The ruling's bullshit.
Well, the ruling is also that you cannot even ask a judge for them to verify. Like, it's basically like a code of ethics that you have to believe your opponent that they have like the psychic or whatever to tag out into the machine. So it's whatever. That's completely irrelevant, like, because, if I played a lot of Cosmo, but it's mostly because of how powerful it is against BA, how powerful it is against Monarch, and it's just, it'll get you there. So, card was definitely good. I'm glad I played 3. I was going to play 2. They just convinced me. My boy Rob Lois, shout out to him, and Jesse again, like, they just said, you got to play 3. They're right. And then on to Soul Transition.
Oh, gosh.
The card is just insane, because, I mean, it's very basic. Helix and Carrier, they just become your Typhoons and your Bouncers. But honestly, my favorite play is if I drew this without any of the guys, it was like, I'll set it, I'd get to my guys, and then I'd summon it. And I had times where, they were playing bottomless, they were playing something, I almost ran into a drowning with a Helix, and I attributed the Helix off with Soul Transition, pop another back row, drew 2 cards. It was insane. Soul Transition is just, is really good.
You ever use it with like other back row cards just to clear shit out in like one turn?
This with Helix was good, and then I end phase like Typhoon, and I got rid of like 3 back rows, so it was good. Or no, 2 back rows, so it was good. And then 2 Magic Drain. Card really was insane. I negated Twin Twister, I negated a Foolish Burial, which was pretty funny. I negated a Foolish Burial for a BA player. He had 2 cards in hand. One of them was Foolish Burial. And it was like, okay, you're not Twin Twistering me because you only have 1 card in hand. So it was like, okay, Magic Drain, it worked. I couldn't play after that. So I won next turn. So it was really good. This card negated so much stuff. It was just nuts.
I gotta ask, man, and a serious question is, why Magic Drain over Dark Bribe?
Bribe, I didn't test with it enough. Like I even told you, I didn't test with it enough, like extensively. And I didn't even really test with this, but in theory, like when I first built the deck, I looked at a lot of OCG lists, and they were either playing Bribe, Huge Revo, or this, and the majority of them that were having the most success were playing Magic Drain, and it was the best answer to Twin Twister because it was like, okay, even if you pitch another spell, you're minusing. So that was the thing. I want my opponent to minus. I want them to lose resources, and then I'll out-resource them and win. So.
You play this deck kind of like a hero stun deck almost.
Kind of. It was just. This card was absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so 2 of those, and just cast Trap Hole. I didn't want to play it because I thought, if I play, it's decent, in some matchups. I didn't actually draw that much, so I can't say too much about it. But I resolved it against certain PK plays, and with Necro Valley, it's the stones. So that was the main reason, and also for Monarch because I did it to an Erebus. I had Rivalry up, and he already had an Erebus, and then under Rivalry he domained and he brought out another Erebus, and I cast Trap Hole him, and that was a game. So. Yeah, so that was good. And then the one of Skill Drain, I was able to upgrade it to Hollow. Super happy about that. That was awesome.
Should be a 3.
And then Warning and Emptiness.
Should be a 3.
Yeah, so that's it. 40 cards. Awesome tokens. Shout out to my boy Matt. We made that token today. He hooked me up with Spellground. I think it brought me luck, so yeah. Side deck. Side 2 Vanity's Fiend. Only brought it in once. Sucked. I did get it off, though. I brought it in against Cosmo. And I really wanted to know why, we were playing this card, and because I had thought of other cards, but I kind of saw the theory behind it was that this was when you were going second, because you would get 6 cards, you were playing Stormforce, and it was that extra out you could use against Cosmo. You could Stormforce a big ship, bring out Vanity's Fiend, very few outs to it, so with Necro Valley up 2, I mean, it was just insane.
Custom Mojo's literally all they got.
It did happen, and I mean, he drew Raigeki, so it was like, okay, but it bought me a turn and went in for 24, and I won that game. So yeah, so brought it in once, it was good. This was the MVP, like, no joke. This card was just, I mean, MST has always been good, but it's just the fact that citing it certain ways, like, because of course it was for anti-spell fragrance, and it was for when they would set Twin Twisters, because if they had anti-spell fragrance, they would have to set their own Twin Twister. I would already have my Typhoon set, and then I could space, of course, the anti-spell, but, I actually don't run that many spells, and if my scales were already set, it was good, so yeah, so Typhoon. I was supposed to play 2 Stormforth. Don't ask me. I don't know what the hell happened to my 3rd Stormforth. I'm sorry, Jesse. I couldn't play the other 2, so it wasn't as effective as the strategy we wanted to do with the 3 Stormforth and the Fiends and just the tribute monsters. So I put in a Raigeki because this deck, I have the hardest Pendulum matchup. I don't think I can beat Pendulums. I lost to Pendulums in the finals of the LCQ, and literally, I don't think there was a 6-card combination in this deck that can answer a really established Pendulum field. So that was in there for that. Didn't play Pendulums though, thank God. In that regional thing, and then 3 restrict, obvious for Monarch.
You need a tribute in order to beat Monarch anyway, right?
Yeah. No, I didn't need to at all, and it was a simple siding because I knew I'd take out the soul transitions, and I knew that, that alone freed up 2 spaces for 2 of them, and just needed to move another card out for that. 3 full house. This was for the mirror. If it did come up, there were Demise decks all around. This is also for Magispector because Magispector was very, very popular. Just not only in nationals, but just overall, in the event, everywhere it was everywhere. So
play against any Magispectors?
I did not play against him. There was one, and I thought I was gonna play him, but he ended up losing. So he lost to BA. So
triple full house, triple restrict. Triple restrict. I don't think he had much.
Yeah. I haven't played against the deck in real life yet, but I want to be prepared. And I take it back. This was the best card in my side deck. I resolved this so much. It was absurd.
And you said, you and I were talking about this earlier. You said you play Starlight. You didn't play Starlight because it also catches cards with the Tribute Summon.
Catches Kuraz, it catches Pendulum Sorcerer. And what I used it on all day was Break Sword, and I'm really surprised that PK players, some of them, I guess they just didn't play enough.
They don't play around cards like that.
Well, they didn't. Well, they had to read it a lot and realize, oh yeah, that happens. It was really, really good. God. And of course, Twin Twister. Between that and the Magic Drains, Twin Twister. I did get Twin Twistered, and it was critical, but a lot of times it wasn't enough to knock me out of the game. So it was kind of like pick your poison. So yeah. It was good. So yeah. Oh, and I didn't play an extra deck. Reason why, I lent my boy Rob 8 of my extra deck cards. I think I lent Adam no, I was just you know what, forget it, no extra deck. And literally one guy asked me, are you playing an extra deck? I said no. And he probably thought I was playing Domain, but I wasn't, so yeah.
It's a good way to psych your opponent out, maybe.
Oh, I guess. people do that. I didn't even care. I just told him the honest truth. I even showed him my box. I got 0 extra deck cards in here. So yeah. Yeah, so that's it. So I'm super happy because I got the invite out of the way. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to slack off. I'm literally going to use regionals as testing grounds for the entire format because now I have the freedom to really just play any deck I want. And if I want to go with the flow of whatever deck is good, I have the opportunity to do it now. And I'm really glad because that's out of the way, and
you can go back to the lab. Yeah,
I can go back to the lab and play a lot of different decks. I really don't think Demise will stay at at 3, and maybe it will, but I probably would move to another deck now that I've done enough with Klee, and I'm very happy with the results. So so and shout out to all my opponents. They were all great. I don't have douchebag opponents. I'm very lucky. I don't know if it's just because I'm overly friendly.
You have a lucky fucking star, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm overly lucky or I just I just like talking to people and try to bring out the good side in the game because it's why not? It's why are we gonna sit there and be mad at each other? It's we're just playing cards. So yeah, so that's it. Really happy. So it's kind of weird. I'm at Nationals 2016, but I'm telling you guys right now, I'll see you guys in Nationals 2017. It feels awesome to say that because. I only played in 2 regionals. I didn't make the cut in either of them. It's was already out of the way. So now, regionals is just testing ground. Locals is testing ground, and nationals will be the real test. So yeah. So that's it. Super happy with the result. Really happy with the deck, and I just wish Jesse and anyone else that's playing the deck best of luck and for the rest of the rounds tomorrow. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys thought. Thank you for watching.